If you're a creator, influencer, founder, business owner, and you are ready to start pitching the media for press, this video is for you. It is part of a larger series that I'm doing that is trying to get creators to think about pitching in a different way. When we think about pitching, we think about brand deals. And yes, that is important, but I want y'all pitching all the things. So far in this series, we have covered pitching to other creators. We've covered pitching to get you as a guest on a podcast. And today we are going to cover pitching, getting you media, getting you press features. And we have to obviously start by talking about the importance of this and how it can help your business. First of all, being featured on press is an instant credibility boost. I get to say in my pitches that I've been featured on media outlets like CNN and BBC News and Business Insider and BuzzFeed, and I get to use that in my pitch. So obviously having the credibility of press is very helpful in your pitch. It's helpful in your media kit, having those logos or your company deck per se. It's also helpful. Maybe you want to include it in your email signature. I do. In my email signature, I say as featured on, and I include some of my media hits I've been on. So not only is it a good credibility factor, it can also bring thousands of eyeballs, if not millions, to you. It can help you generate different leads and inbounds, and it could help grow your business, right? If you have a website or a blog, this is going to help improve your SEO, especially if it's coming from a major website that has a lot of traffic. It's going to funnel that traffic to you. So all in all, press is a good thing. But the type of press has changed, right? So it's not necessarily just what we used to think of, which were magazines and newspapers and TV shows, of course, but there's so many ways now that creators can get press. And I want to use that word lightly because even though I did an episode on like getting you as a podcast guest, that could arguably be considered featured on, like in your media kit, you'd have featured on. But for me, it's like just getting you exposure and getting you in front of new eyeballs. So yes, the podcast thing could be, but I want to talk about how do we pitch you to know Good Morning America? How do we pitch you to Forbes magazine? How do we pitch you to different blogs that exist from other creators in your niche that are doing well? Even to be part of different roundups, right? Or even to be pitched to, for someone's Substack. I know that is a new thing nowadays, and there's all these online newsletters, but like imagine you pitch yourself to go to a newsletter and that brand has, I don't know, 1 million people on their newsletter. Yeah, you're not getting paid for them, but they could be helping you grow. They could be helping you in other positions, right? So press is interesting. Like if you're like, oh, I was featured on the Walmart newsletter. I don't know, I'm making this up. There's some crossover there and it could open the doors for potential partnerships and collaborations. So of course, if you are starting, we're always going to start at step 1, which is build your list. So let's just say you wanted to build your list and you want to start small because we're not going to pitch to CNN maybe on day 1. We're going to say, best travel blogs or best fashion blogs or your niche magazines like food magazines, and start to literally search on Google, on AI, go into chat, literally say, hey chat, give me a list of the top 50 travel blogs that have won awards or that are ranking, or the top 50 travel magazines or food magazines. Like literally start looking and building your list in that way. You want to make your spreadsheet or however you're staying organized in your pitches, but the most important is to make sure that they are categorized so that when you are sending out those pitches, you're sending out a pitch per category. I also think it's really important when you start to think about, okay, I want to pitch to the media. What are they already talking about? Who are the creators that they've already interviewed or the business owners they've already covered? And then how can you tie yourself into it? You could even search like creator interviews fashion or creator interviews in beauty and see who are the guests that they're interviewing to see where they line up compared to you, and also seeing the type of interview features. So for example, if I wanted to pitch to Good Morning America, which I do and I have, and when you're pitching media, it's like any pitch, you will get no's, you will get ghosted, you'll do all the things, and it does not mean we cannot pitch them again. But let's just say I wanted to pitch Good Morning America, rather than thinking about like, oh, what is it that I want? I would probably want to research like, what are things that they already talk about? What do they think is exciting? Yes, I can idea generate some angles and some storylines like around the creator economy or really interesting facts, but you want to have something newsworthy. You want to have that hook in your pitch. So I'll give you a great idea. This girl that I'm working with, Autism Awareness Month is in April. She wants to pitch all the major news networks with that angle. This is a timely pitch. This is trending. It has something that the editors or producers are like, oh, like this feels like a story, something that has that urgency around it, around timeliness or a big stat that was released or something in your niche, you want to leverage that in your pitch to the media that you are listing. Even if you're just going after like a blog and you want to share, your expertise in this blog article that you're pitching, still lean on that trending urgency style of pitch, because that works really well for media. Like their news desk, they're looking for new, fresh information most of the times. Now, there is a website I wanted to bring to your guys' attention. I'm just gonna be looking at my computer over here while I share. But if you were to go to HARO, which is Help a Reporter Out, back in the day, HARO was like where a lot of people would go and get press hits to be featured in media. And that's where the journalists would go and be like, we need this, this, and this. We're looking for these people to interview. Things have changed a little bit with HARO, but they do have an expert search directory. So it's under featured.com/experts/search. And you could literally create a profile to be an expert. So for example, they have 5,000 experts in finance or legal or home and garden. So when media does want to, find an expert in finance because they want someone to give a quote for a Wall Street Journal article, this is where they could begin and start. It makes the journalist's job so much easier. So if that's something that you're interested in, you're going to want to look into these sort of websites that exist that can help connect you with those opportunities. Similarly, there's another website called Quoted, QWOTED. They are helping you connect with media as well. So they are going to help you, journalists, podcasters, newsrooms, and they even have a section for content creators. So I thought that was really cool. So again, these places exist in this world. What is different though is I feel like you could put yourself in this room, but you could also still direct pitch. So just because you join maybe like a HARO or a featured.com as an expert, it doesn't mean you just sit and wait, right? You can have your profile set up, but then you can also be an active participant and go after the newsworthy things that you want to send out. Now, something that I think a lot of creators kind of think about is what type of outlet do you want to reach out to? If you are going to reach out to your local news, let's just say I'm in Miami, I want to reach out to the local news desk. That's obviously very different than if you wanted to pitch a magazine or, a newsletter. So also identifying the types of press that you want to pitch is going to help you. I do think that there's something very special about live pitching, because if you go to the news routes and you do want to do more television appearances and more guest appearances, this is obviously could be very strong for your portfolio, versus if you're on a website, very strong for your click-throughs and your blog. So something to consider. Also, you always want to think about where do the writers live? So I always joke influencers live on Instagram, right? Where do the writers live? A lot of them are on, websites maybe like X. They are doing short form content, Threads. We're seeing lots of writers live on Substack. It's like the writer's paradise. LinkedIn, writers live on LinkedIn. Meet them where they're at, right? Follow certain journalists that you're into. You read an article you loved, see who wrote it. Go find that person, connect with them. Connect with that journalist on LinkedIn, or follow them on Instagram, or see if they have a Substack. You also sometimes don't even realize all the people that exist until you see it, right? So the next time you are reading an article or watching a news segment and you see that anchor's name, or you see the person who wrote the article's name, take note and add it to your hit list so that you can reach out to them. But you have to connect with journalists. And again, when you pitch them something that's a story, that's an angle, you're making their life easier. It's something we talk a lot about in pitching, especially in our pitching program, is value-based pitching, right? So my students know step 3 in the course, value-based pitching, pitching an idea, pitching a concept, pitching a solution, being valuable, not what you can get from it, but what can you help others with? So I'll give you an example. If you were pitching a journalist and you're listen, Autism Awareness Month is coming up. I have a child with autism and I want to talk about travel hacks to get through TSA with kids this spring break. Again, whatever. You are basically giving them the story. And now you're I can help support this with expert testimonials and explain to you, or doing some sort of interview sort of series. You're literally giving them that value. Here's the value, here's the pitch, and this is how I can support you, right? Now, funny enough, a lot of creators, similarly to our other pitches, are also including their media kits in their pitches, because again, they know it's going to help the journalists see them as a credible source, professional, expert, because that is what the media kit does. Don't forget, y'all, if you want to learn how to build your media kit or learn how to put a pitch together, this is what we do here at Sidewalker Daily. It is our strength, not just in brand deals. People have used my pitching program to fundraise for TV shows that they have pitched, to pitch media, to pitch themselves on podcasts. Okay, so whatever you're pitching, I know I can support you with. That's literally what we teach. Go ahead and take a look at our Pitching to Brands Master Course in the link below. I'm giving you a code, take $500 off the program, get yourself pitching, get yourself learning how to find the contacts, knowing what to say, putting your materials together, follow-up strategies, pitch examples, rates, and more. You can go ahead and check out that and more inside of our Pitching to Brands Master Course. Now, I have a lot of friends who are journalists because remember, I come from the PR side. I've done a lot of my fair share of pitching to journalists. And I'm going to tell you something, they do not want long pitches. They want clear story angles. Like, just give it to them and they're going to let you know yay or nay right away. I think that's the most important thing that differentiates this style of pitch to other types of pitches, is that it is a very clear angle that you're sending the writer to see if they want to write on that or not. So story angle, story angle, story angle. This is what you're giving them. You can give them 2 to 3 in bullet points if you'd like, and then that should be the real focus. You're going to also want to make sure you include relevant links, or you're going to include that media kit we talked about as a PDF so that they can go ahead and quickly take a scan at you and your business and what you do. Now, again, if you are pitching yourself and you're like a fashion blogger, let's just say, or a travel blogger, you may not want to send them your 12-page media kit, right? You may want to create a 2-pager that is just for press and outreach in this category, because they don't have time to be looking at all of that. They're not a brand. They're not trying to do a brand deal with you. So having a 2-page media kit, I feel like, is a better strategy when pitching media. So press builds authority online. It is a very important part of your biz. Start pitching, y'all. These local media outlets, national, do what you have to do, build your list, get the brand's email, build your database, and put yourself out there. You never know who's going to respond. That is the best part of pitching. The next style of pitching opportunities we are going to talk about is getting you on stages. How can we get you to pitch yourself to be a paid speaker, to pitch yourself to different conferences and workshops, and put you on stage, because that should be also a part of the things that you're pitching. So I hope you guys are enjoying this series so far. Let me know in the comments, and I'll see you in the next episode where we're going to dive in to all things getting you ready to pitch yourself to be on stage and public speaking jobs. Can't wait, and see you guys then.